Hello and welcome to About 6 Acres. I'm Juana.
And I'm Nick.
It is raining outside. It is incredibly cold. And I just don't want to be outside.
We had sleet earlier in the morning and we're expected to get some snow later tonight. So we're going to get all of our winter in the next 2 days and then start summer.
Hopefully, because I love summer. I am not built for this cold. I think we have planned to do some kind of enchiladas or something for dinner. Let's try to make sourdough tortillas.
Sourdough tortillas, sounds good. So when there's any mention of freezing weather, ice, snow here in North Texas, that's when people just run to the stores. They clear the bread, milk, cheese, everything shelves. Eggs. So we didn't run to the store, so we're gonna use what we got.
Yeah, luckily we have all of those things right here on our farm, except the milk, not the milk anymore. So this recipe seems very, very simple. I'm gonna tag the recipe that we use, but it's from Alexandra Cooks. And it's only a couple of ingredients, which is in keeping with tortillas, flour tortillas that is. So I have some of my sourdough discard, some kosher salt, all-purpose flour, some butter that we're going to be softening, and then water. So we're just taking some all-purpose flour, and her recipe calls for 210 grams. Wow, I went over it by a lot. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna take 7 grams of kosher salt. I'm gonna put it in there and just mix it together. I think that's nice and mixed. So now that I've got the salt and the flour incorporated, I'm gonna take the butter and just try to get it incorporated into this flour. So I've added my butter and now I'm just going to, I believe that the recipe says, smush it in with the back of a fork. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Hopefully I get this nice and smushed. And it wasn't that much butter. I think it was 56 grams of butter. And again, we're gonna find out together if this works. And I'm hoping that it does because the pictures on the recipe looked delicious. What'd you think, Nick? Did they look good?
Look good.
I'm gonna just take my hand, make sure it's all in there, which it seems to be. Actually really nice. Okay, so now we're going to incorporate our sourdough discard, which is gonna be 100 grams. So 100 grams of the sourdough discard and 100 grams of water. And if you are not a sourdough person, just know that when it comes to sourdough, ingredients weighed is better than just measuring with a regular cup. Now this recipe does have those measurements, like if you measure with a teaspoon or a, regular measuring cups, but when it comes to sourdough, using a scale is just more precise and it's a little bit better. Now I know people that just eyeball it and they seem to do well. I think that might come with experience, but that's never worked for me.
No, professionals. They're professionals.
Yeah, and I think even some professionals do weigh. Those people are just like crazy amazing. But for little old me here, especially trying out a new recipe, I can't gauge consistency, so I enjoy just weighing the ingredients and making sure that it's as close to the recipe written as possible. Okay, so once everything is incorporated, then we are going to knead it on a surface. So I'm going to move everything out of the way and flour it, and then we'll knead it for a few minutes. So I just want to get everything incorporated in here. And I think a lot of the recipes that we've posted have been, a lot of our recipes have really been bread recipes. Trust me, we eat other stuff, but bread recipes are just fun to make. And
I made muffins, cinnamon muffins.
Which are also bread. I'm saying like flour, carb based. Like the other day we made stew, but we didn't do a video. We should have made a video of it. So we'll do this for 2 minutes, and then we'll come back with the next step.
It's your workout for the day. Yes.
Sorry if I'm heat breathing heavy. I am done kneading. It's nice and together, and doesn't stick anymore. So it's pretty much done. We are going to divide this into 12 pieces, roll them into balls, cover them, and let them rest for, the recipe says at least
30 minutes.
Yeah, at least 30 minutes and up to 2 hours. I just want them to be all about the same size, so.
Yay. And we're just weighing them out to make sure they're almost the same weight.
So these are about 43 grams each.
We don't have a tortilla press.
Oh yeah, I haven't talked about that yet, I don't think. So this is obviously our first time making them, and we're gonna get creative. Because necessity is the mother of all invention. One of my favorite sayings. Okay, so they're all rolled. I believe that they're all good. So we're just gonna take a tea towel and just cover them up. And then we'll be back in 30 minutes to an hour.
So our tortilla balls that we rolled out have been resting almost about an hour now. So we're gonna take them out and we're going to roll them out into like 8-inch tortillas.
So since we don't have a tortilla press, we're just rolling these out, and they're supposed to be about 8 inches. So I'm using my sourdough sling as a reference guide just to make it easier. And if we keep all the sizes about the same, I think it'll be a lot easier to cook because we'll know more or less when to flip them. And I think that'll make them cook evenly. If you have a tortilla press, let us know if it's worth it, if you use it frequently. I think it'd be one of those things that might be cool to have, but so far it's been very therapeutic to roll them out. That's a nice size. So I'm going to finish the 12 of this and then bring you back. We have all 12 tortillas completely rolled out, and I separated them using some parchment paper just in case. And now I'm going to preheat the cast iron skillet and then start cooking them.
We're going to put these in a hot pan that's not greased or oiled for 30 seconds on each side. Try to get it flat. And we'll let it puff up for 30 seconds and then flip it. dozen homemade tortillas from sourdough discard. Basically, we're making a enchilada baked casserole. So yeah, I think the tortilla is a little bit bigger than what the recipe called for. So instead of putting 6 on the bottom, we might just put 4. So Juana may actually have some extras to try later, but we're just gonna layer on lasagna. We made our own enchilada sauce that we had with some of our tomatoes that we froze and some of our sweet peppers and some spices. And then we have some turkey and chicken along with some potatoes and peppers to go in as sort of our meat layer. So it's almost like a Mexican lasagna almost. So we'll see how it tastes. Coat some tortillas, time to get messy. I don't recommend doing this if it's like super hot sauce, because it's not fun. But this is a sweeter enchilada sauce. Our enchilada bake is done, so we're just gonna cut it up and get ready to eat for dinner. It's hot, it's ready to eat. Looks good. Cheesy. I'm gonna burn my mouth on hot cheese. It's literally like Mexican lasagna. It is really good. And the tortillas are like super soft. Really nice.
So the tortillas were amazing, and they were so easy to make with just a couple of ingredients that you probably have in your home. Maybe you have in your home. If you are into sourdough, you probably have that sourdough discard, but it was so good.
It was good, and it worked well in the enchilada bake and making the enchilada sauce homemade as well with some frozen tomatoes and peppers we had on hand. It was also, tortillas like melted.
Well, they didn't really melt, but they were so yummy.
It was good.
Just making sure they held their own. But it was just so good. It's definitely something that we are going to make again. So thank you so much for watching.
And as always, you are awesome and you are loved.
Until next time.